We are at T-minus 4 minutes and 20 seconds. T-minus 4:20 right now on the SpaceX launch. The Falcon 9 rockets have been just pre-chilled, and now they're running power to the Dragon, the cargo Dragon capsule. They will eventually take up a new resupply, a box of goods on their 22nd cargo resupply mission. So CRS-22 is the name of this mission. Ahead of the launch, I want to bring in space investor Chad Anderson of Space Capital, as well as Bloomberg's Justin Bachman, to walk us through what's going on. And Chad, you and I were just talking during the commercial. It's amazing that this started 10 years ago. And you're saying this has all happened within the short span of 10 years. I'm saying I can't believe it was that long ago we saw CRS-1.
It's amazing how much has been accomplished in the last decade. I mean, SpaceX launched their first successful commercial payload in 2009. They went to the space station for the first time in 2012 and brought their spacecrafts back down. So, yeah, I mean, it's been a very exciting decade. And, you know, it's not just cargo that they're delivering. I mean, a lot of what's in this package is consumables for the humans that are on board. And, you know, you've got SpaceX's Crew and NASA's Crew 2 that's on board now that SpaceX launched. And I think they've got 6 more coming up over the next few years that are already booked. So, yeah, I mean, a lot's happened in the last 10 years, and it seems we're just getting started.
Justin, how revolutionary is this company? I mean, to me, it seems so futuristic that this kind of like evil billionaire, I'm joking around about that, of course, but Elon Musk would be such a great Bond villain, has built his own space company that NASA now kind of rents out to launch stuff up to their space station. And he's got reusable rockets, which has to save them millions.
Yeah, it is really revolutionary, not only in what SpaceX has been able to accomplish through these NASA contracts and their commercial contracts, but you also got to remember the way they're going about it. These things come off an assembly line just, you know, practically like a car these days. They're, you know, they really revolutionized the fact that you can fly these things very quickly and multiple times. They're up to 10 so far. And, you know, the unusual thing today, we're looking at a brand new Falcon 9 first stage, which, you know, that's typically they've been flying, you know, previously flown used rockets. And so it's unusual now to see a brand new one. And I think that's really interesting.
Yeah, they busted out a freshie for the 22nd mission. Chad, what do you think about the technology? And also, when are we going to be able to get a piece of this? When are we going to be able to buy shares in SpaceX on the public market?
Yeah, I mean, it's super interesting. So they've got a fresh booster this time, but it's already slated to be reused on the Crew 3 mission that's coming up in October. So, I mean, it's incredible to see how they continue to push the boundaries on these things. And how all the different aspects of their business are playing well together. I mean, they're launching their Starlink satellites with boosters and rockets that have been depreciated to zero, you know, 6 or 7 flights ago. You know, and they're still getting value out of them, saving tens of millions of dollars even for their own internal business, let alone what they're doing for NASA. So it's been incredible to see how they've changed the game. I think, you know, the latest news on when you might be able to get some SpaceX from a public markets perspective, the last we heard was around the 2023 timeframe, really when Starlink is, you know,
2023
has graduated from their beta.
All right. Listen, Chad, Justin, hang on for a second because we just got to go for launch. They are pressurizing their propellant tanks for flight right now. Just got 10 seconds to go until ignition. Let's listen in.
Zero. Ignition. Liftoff.
And liftoff of the 22nd SpaceX cargo resupply mission, bringing new solar arrays to the International Space Station.
Stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
plus 40 seconds into flight. Awesome shot looking
Power
back
and telemetry nominal.
The Cape, where Falcon 9 has launched. We're coming up on the next major milestone. That's the point of maximum aerodynamic pressure. That's when the...
All right, so you're listening to SpaceX narration there. They just launched off the northernmost pad at Cape Canaveral 39A, and we are coming up on the first thing that we're going to see in just about a minute's time is the first separation of the main Falcon 9 boosters. They will break off of the spacecraft and the second stage boosters, and then they will start their float down, eventually stabilizing to land on, Of Course We Still Love You, which is a drone ship in the Atlantic Ocean, and that's how they're going to take this fresh booster. Remember, this is the first time they've used these boosters, and then reuse them in a mission that they've already got on the books. That will take about 5 more minutes for the stage 1 booster to get back down to Earth. And then the next thing we're going to see is the stage 2. It's kind of a slower burn. It's going to separate about 12 minutes into flight, burn off partially, and then separate, hang around space, or disintegrate on its way back down through the atmosphere into orbit. But that will then finally leave the Dragon, the CRS-22 mission on thrusters before it's going to go into autonomous mode and take a couple of days, really, to get to the space station. I think it doesn't get until Saturday to the space station, and at that point, they will dock. We've all watched a million sci-fi movies. We all know what that's going to look like. Justin, what are we seeing here? We're seeing now the breakaway of the booster. That's the money shot right there. I mean, that's the savings floating back down to Earth, right, Justin? They're putting the stage 1 rocket back in to the atmosphere, and eventually it's going to land on a ship.
Right, that was a live shot of the business model right there, where the first stage comes back and lands in the Atlantic, and get ready, and then you fly it again. And so right now you're seeing the shot of the second stage vacuum engine, which is taking the Dragon into its proper orbital altitude.
And the second stage, Justin, as far as I understand it, a lot of it burns off because it's not made with the kind of, incredible extra strength materials as the big stage.
Right.
But then the rest of it, will fall through the atmosphere into Earth?
Right, yeah. The second stage is not a reusable part of the vehicle. That is destroyed, but it's it is also relatively smaller in a smaller role overall. But yeah, that is the one part of the system that's not designed to be reusable.
And as far as I understand, some competitors complain that they're leaving too much space debris up there. That Space Up is kind of blocking or creating traffic for other satellites and other launch missions.
Yeah, we've heard discussion around Starlink, which, if you believe the initial plans, could be upwards of 40,000 different satellites to get their constellation up and running. And there have been concerns raised by astronomers and some other groups about just the sheer volume of satellites in orbit. That's still to be resolved, I think, in the long term. But, so far regulators have given them the approval to go forward, and they're well above 1,700, I believe, is the current count in that constellation, and moving forward. So the rocket stage itself is not really adding orbital debris, but I think the bigger concern is that as you get companies like SpaceX and OneWeb is doing a large constellation, Amazon has talked about it as well. Do we get to a point where there needs to be a different regime for how to manage all this traffic?
Chad, is this a problem for investors? I mean, especially as we see this wave of ESG concerns over markets. Are you worried about too many satellites, too much debris in space already?
No, it's certainly something to pay attention to, and as a government, as a satellite operator, SpaceX themselves have a vested interest in making sure that their orbital planes, their highways, their lanes in orbit stay clean and clear so that they can operate without any issue, and they can get the insurance that they need to protect their satellites and things. So everyone that's operating in this space has a vested interest in seeing, in making sure that it's clean. They have worked really closely with, they've heard the concerns from astronomers and some others. They're taking steps to address the reflection from the sun. They have a working group that they've stood up, and they're inviting folks to come in and voice their concerns, and they're taking this very seriously. So I think all of this is really playing into the fact that, certainly we have changed the paradigm. We've gone from very little activity in space to suddenly quite a bit of activity in space. There is some growing pains associated with that. There's a lot of change happening, but I think the company is handling it very well, is bringing in the broader stakeholder group, and is working to address the concerns so that we can have the benefits that come from these systems as well.
I just want to point out that we are right now 6 minutes and 40 seconds, 6 minutes and 50 seconds into flight. And in the next minute or so, we are going to see the stage one booster start to stabilize itself and try and land on the ship, which is called, of course, We Still Love You. It's a fantastic name. It's a mouthful if you're a television broadcaster and you have to repeat it over and over again. But this is the tricky part, right? This is what they struggled with the first few times. And I was always impressed by Elon Musk's confidence, because they didn't get it right for a while. And he seemed to think, you know what? You got to fail before you can succeed. Now we see it starting to float down. It's pretty amazing. And it's about to land itself, just seconds to go until they touch down. In the past, they've toppled over, and that was then problematic, obviously, if you want to reuse the thing. But it looks like they're on target here to stick a pretty good landing. Amazing stabilization there. Amazing the way it can hold in the air, almost like a helicopter, as it slowly floats down to the surface. Justin, how does this work? Do they have parachutes on that, or do they just do it with some rocket thrusters? How do they do that?
Yeah, they do it with one of the Merlin engines relights to provide the thrust to slow down. And, I've seen probably 40 or 50 of those, and it never ceases to amaze when you watch that landing on a floating platform in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean with waves and wind, and it just seems to work. So if you think about, just the engineering and the technology and the physics and the amount of sheer work that went into making that happen, and not just once or twice, but that was the 86th time that they've done it total. It's just amazing to see it every single time, and it never gets old. Elon Musk has said that you know it work when it gets boring and nobody pays attention, but I'm not sure that's going to happen. I think people are always going to pay attention to that.
Yeah, how much money do they save with each one of those salvaged rockets, Justin?
Well, I don't think we've ever seen a number, and maybe Chad has, but I haven't. I'm sure it's in the millions when you think about the ability to minimal refurbishment, fill it up with fuel, and fly it again 10 or 20 times. I mean, that's just astronomical cost savings.
Chad, I remember first hearing about these mini satellite launches about 10 years ago. I can't remember if it was Tim Draper or his kid, Adam Draper, talking about how they were going to launch these shoebox-sized satellites up into orbit, and they were going to prove so important for everything from market research to fighting climate change. How much has that business kicked off, and how well have investors done on it?
I mean, you're speaking our language. Our thesis at Space Capital is that in the same way that every company today is a technology company, every company of tomorrow will be a space company. And what we mean by that is that these satellites, particularly these large constellations, distributed networks of small satellites, are providing incredibly valuable data that is the invisible backbone that powers our global economy. So, we've had decades of experience of working and operating in space. It's been primarily the government on one side and defense contractors, a handful of defense contractors on the other. they've built these monolithic satellites that are highly capable, but can go around the Earth and get a picture of where you want, every 2 weeks maybe. We've now gone to more, single point of failure, by the way. And in these large distributed networks of hundreds, thousands of satellites in a constellation, you now have multiple points of failure. We're building out mesh networks. We're generating an unprecedented amount of data about our planet that is incredibly valuable for any type of industry. I mean, the early demand signals are coming from agriculture, insurance, maritime, shipping, logistics, trillion-dollar industries. But the use cases, the applications of this data are infinite. And now that we have really cracked the nut and of getting access to this data, aggregating it and making it, distributing it and making it really easily accessible to the tech community to then innovate and build applications on top of it, we're really starting to see that innovation play out. That's a key area where we're looking to deploy our fund is in the application of this geospatial intelligence data. And as the world becomes, more dynamic post-COVID, this.
Hang on a second, Chad. Let me jump in. It looks like the stage 2 booster is now floating away, and it's such a cool shot. I hope we can take that full screen. Justin, walk us through exactly what's going on here. It looks like something out of a movie. It's so crazy. Maybe I'm showing my age, but it's just floating away there as they get ready for the boring part over the next couple days, right?
Well, yeah, over the next couple of days, the Dragon capsule will be, in orbit, getting ready to dock at the ISS. But yeah, you're seeing a really gorgeous shot there of the Dragon off on its own. That's the cargo version. There's one that carries people as well, and we've seen that operate very well for 3 times now. And I think it just goes to show that SpaceX has kind of mastered what they're trying to do now, and the next thing is the Starlink constellation and other applications from that, as Chad was saying. It's kind of a company that's working in the commercial space arena and doing what they say they're going to do, and they've got a huge project now in Texas with Starship, and Elon Musk wants to go to Mars next. And right now it looks like there's good progress on that front as well.
All right. Of course, he does typically aim very high, and it sometimes takes a little bit longer than expected to get to his goals, but he's reached them all so far. Chad, let me give you one final question here. If you could give us, in short, you were going into your strategy at the company. What is it in the near term, in the short term, that you want to execute in order to deliver funds to your investors?
Well, look, I mean, we're on our 3rd fund now, so we've been in participating in the growth of the space economy over the last 10 years. We're uniquely positioned to source and diligence these deals, and we've been focused exclusively on this throughout that whole period. So, what's obvious is that there's never been greater amount of opportunities, investment opportunities, and nor has there been as much investor interest as there is right now. I mean, things are really accelerating. I mentioned, I talked a lot about the applications. That's really where we're focused and where we're deploying a lot of our capital and where we're starting to return capital to investors as well. So things are happening in a venture time scale, certainly in faster time scales than have ever happened before in this category. And, Justin mentioned Starship. I don't think that anyone has really internalized how fundamentally that is going to shape our future and how we interact and operate in space. I think it's going to absolutely change the game.
It's very exciting stuff, to say the least. Chad, thanks so much for your time. Really appreciate it. Chad Anderson, they are MP at Space Capital, and Bloomberg's Justin Bachman walking us through the pictures on the screen. Gorgeous pictures they were watching. CRS-22, the most recent SpaceX launch and successful return of the Falcon 9 boosters to, of course, We Still Love You. Now, during